Girls, it's time for a test drive. And yes, I mean top down, great speed, wind blowing in your hair, test drive this summer, because that is a great time to experience true freedom. You know what? Our typical summers are the ones where we book that vacation or we book that time off and we put on our out of office notification or response email because I'm away from the desk having the time of my life and I have limited access to my emails. And we're lounging in that place or that space. We're at camp or we're wherever we happen to be, and we're checking our emails and we're tuning in to the Slack conversation, even though we're supposed to be checking out, even if it's a time when we're supposed to be enjoying the time away, refreshing ourselves, but we're still checking in when we're supposed to be stepping away. Well, I don't know if that feels like freedom to you, but it sure don't feel like freedom to me because we have set ourselves up in such a way that we are so tethered to our work and our income generation experiences that we feel that we just can't disconnect. The out of office illusion is a familiar pattern. The summer is the time when we're just doing what everybody else is doing so we can have the pictures, we can do the dances, and we can show people what it looks like to have freedom. But what we're actually having, what's actually happening, is more of an escape. We are trying to run away from the constriction, the responsibility, the expectations that our income generating activities are putting on us. That burden, we're trying to run away from it. But I would love to invite you to reframe this summer. I'd love to invite you to reframe your time and how you spend it this summer over the next few months and use it as a testing ground for what your future freedom could look like. In fact, you're going to test drive freedom now. Oh, yeah, I am excited because I happen to know that you do not need to retire or you don't need to give up on your professional ambitions and dreams for you to experience real autonomy. Freedom is that behavioral muscle that you get to exercise and strengthen so that you can experience it in real time now. And this summer is the perfect time to take it for a test drive. You see, as women who have achieved this level of this altitude of wealth and responsibility, this title, this level of respect, right, in your industry for your profession, we actually understand delayed gratification very well. In fact, to some extent, we understand it too well because we keep thinking that one day we will have that autonomy, that one day when we reach a certain level, we're going to be able to enjoy the fruit of our labor. But if you don't practice that freedom now, when you're making 100K or 250K, you won't magically know what to do or how to feel free when you're making those $1 million. You will not know what to do with yourself if everything about you is tied to your capacity to make more money and you do not know how to experience true wealth. In fact, wealth without the capacity for unapologetic enjoyment, it's just high yielding, high earning prison. Take some time to think about that. You're making the money, you are accumulating earnings, but you're doing it in such a way that you have no capacity, no space, you have no wiggle room to put in a life that is rich in joy. Well, if that's your scenario, if that's your experience right now, you need to break out of that prison, and you don't need to give up your income earning in order to do so. We get to build that calculated confidence, that capacity now. Experiencing freedom is an investment in your capacity to handle higher levels of wealth and impact later on. Just imagine, the more you can experience that balance, that beautiful synergy between creating wealth and having a life that is full and rich, the more capacity you're creating to have more of it. The more capacity you're creating to bring on more and to create more wealth and more enjoyment. You see, if we're going to create wealth, but it will cost us our peace of mind, it's not worth it. I'm sorry, girls. If you're going after the title, if you're going after that C-suite appointment, but it's going to come at the price of the things that you value the most, it is not worth it. So I am going to invite you to join me in a wonderful experiment this summer. I'm going to invite you to test drive the best model of freedom that there is. I would love for you to have a tactical application of values-based resource allocation. This is a fantastic time to do it. First things first, you got to make a mental shift from saving money for that premium vacation or that premium experience to actually deploying capital for freedom. We got to make that shift, girls. We need to stop thinking about this as save, save, save for a rainy day. That served your mom. That served your grandma. You, at that level that you're at, you now have to start deploying capital with intention to eliminate friction. And friction is in all the places and spaces that seem to be optional. We don't experience friction when we need to pay our mortgage because we've been programmed that that's what responsibility looks like. We don't experience freedom when we are putting money aside for our RSPs or, in putting money aside, tax-free savings accounts and paying our insurance bills. No, there's no friction there because we have been programmed to say, this is what you got to do. You got to do it. Where the friction comes up, the friction comes up when we have to decide on whether we take 1 week off or 3. The friction starts to come into place when we have to talk about whether we book the 1-hour massage or the full day package at the spa. The friction comes up when we have to decide, that thing, that innate gift that I have, whether I'm going to spend on getting great equipment to deploy it or whether I'm going to do the bargain basement option, maybe buy some stuff off of Facebook Marketplace. That seems to be where friction comes in. And it is so interesting because these are the experiences that actually fuel us. These are the experiences that fill us up and fulfill our lives. And these are the experiences where we have been socialized into friction. We got to move away from, putting money aside for all of the responsible things to actually creating an attitude of strategic deployment towards eliminating friction. There's another thing that I think we need to kind of take a look at. This summer, as you make the move from just saving, I'd also like you to choose one specific area to aggressively outsource for the months of July and August. And I mean, without apology, full confidence, say it with your chest. I am paying for the housekeeper July and August, and mean it. Say it with your whole heart. I am going to ensure that I have a household coordinator and I am paying for it for July and August. I am going to pay for the premium grocery delivery service and no one's telling me anything about it. You see, this is not a splurge. For a woman at your level, this is a reclaiming of your time, and it is the creation of white spaces in your life where you get to infuse color based on your choices, based on what moves you. Buy back some time for yourself this summer and see how that feels. And then lean into luxury without guilt. Spend the money on the things that protect your peace. Relabel it from an indulgence to a strategic executive choice. Stop, I used to, long ago, I never quite understood why executives needed to pay people to run and get them coffee and to tell them what's on their calendar. It used to be so foreign to me. Honestly, it looked like you have so much money, you're going to waste it on that. But executives know, that CEO knows that your time is much more valuable in creating, in ideating, in nurturing, and giving clear direction as you build out your vision. It's much more valuable doing that than spending the time trying to keep in your head or manage apps on your devices to see who's booking me now, what do I want here. Deploy that strategically. And it's the same thing that you get to do with your personal finances. You are not being self-indulgent. You are being strategic with your money and with the use of your time, your talents. You are being strategic. So here is another thing that I'd love for you to experiment with. And this one is kind of a digital sovereignty protocol. Let's call it that. Digital sovereignty protocol. I want you to experience discomfort specifically to specifically address those golden handcuffs. I would love to challenge you this summer to pick one or two weekends. Long weekends are great for this, but one or two weekends where you go completely dark. No email, no professional notifications, no just checking in. I'd love for you to give your brain the experience of a few hours without tapping in, without plugging in. A few hours when you can step outside of your income earning activities and just see how it feels. I'm going to warn you. If you're new to this, if it's something you haven't done, this is likely to trigger some anxiety for you. That is the reality. Don't let anybody tell you how it's pure bliss. It's not there yet. If you choose to go completely dark, especially if you're a business owner where core decisions have to be made and, things are moving at a rapid pace, if you're at a high activity point in your business, this is going to trigger all kinds of feelings for you. Your brain will tell you that everything is falling apart, but you need to pass through this initial discomfort in order to build true resilience and experience that digital separation from your income earning activities. In fact, realizing that the corporate machine can move perfectly fine without you for a few hours is actually the ultimate proof that you own your life and that the job doesn't own you. Think about it. I'm dropping some bombs today, but you being able to step away from the job, you being able to step away from the inbox is actually the proof that you're looking for that your income generating activity is not the one in control, but you are. And if you find that to be an impossible task as you run this experiment, ask yourself what needs to change in order for you to have that experience of true sovereignty. The another thing that I'd like for you to consider is financial reviews are usually the thing that we do, at the end of a long day when deadlines are coming up against you and you have no choice but to kind of sit and look at your numbers. I would really, really love for you to change that this summer and to take yourself to a place in a space that is indulgent, that is specifically chosen as light and bright and beautiful. And to take yourself to a space that you associate with positive things. Take yourself to a place. Maybe it's a cafe. Maybe it's a beach, a shoreline. Maybe it's maybe even a lovely bookstore. Oh, that would be great. Yeah. The bookstores that have cafes with them, or those places and spaces where you feel good about yourself. Bring your laptop, bring a notebook, and spend a couple hours just looking at your financial estate, looking at your numbers, looking at your income earning, looking at how you're deploying your finances, but this time through the lens of vision and legacy. This time through the lens of achieving amazing quality of life, achieving amazing levels of positive impact. Look at your numbers within those spaces through the lens of this is fantastic. How can I experience more? How can I experience better? How can I create more? Ask yourself, how hard did my money work for me in the last little while? Whether it's a half year, it's the last year. And then how can I position my money to buy me more of the things that I want, to create positive change in the right direction for that next review period? It is time for us to make our interactions with our money a beautiful thing, not a chore. This summer, you have that opportunity in 3 strategic ways. Fund an unapologetic summer experiment. So that would look like shifting from, saving money to deploying capital to eliminate friction. So you're choosing that one area to aggressively outsource. That's one. Two, do that digital sovereignty protocol that we talked about and step away, completely away. Feel the discomfort, experience that, and see how your income earning can operate without you so that you are in control and that your money is not the one ruling. And number 3, elevate your experiences with your finance, elevate how you are interacting with your money. Take that to a luxury premium experience that is light and bright, and you can start experiencing positive vibes, man, when you're looking at your balance sheet. Ask those questions. Is this me working for money, or is this money working for me? Look at your numbers through the lens of vision and legacy, and challenge your money to work for you so that you're not the one constantly working for it. Listen, you have earned your current level of achievement. You have paid the price, you have experienced the hard knocks, and now you're here. You have now the opportunity to stop living in this hyper vigilant state of financial exhaustion. If you want this summer's freedom to be a blueprint for the rest of your life's experiences with wealth, instead of it just being a passing phase, let's design something long term together. Do the experiment this summer. Maybe you can start doing it at any point when you're watching this podcast, when you're listening to my voice. But let's start it now and make the decision. I like this. I want it to go a little further. Let's actually design that roadmap. So please go to my website, hadrianaleo.com. Access the resources that are on there for you. Take the Catalyst Index so we can help identify your wealth blind spots and luxuriate in your level of achievement, knowing that it doesn't have to be one or the other, but that your wealth journey can be walking hand in hand with a life that is full and rich, and you get to unlock your next level of strategic financial sovereignty. I really hope to hear how that experiment went for you. Let me know. And until next time, take care.